You had a couple of scenes where you realized the Seeker is basically in the same situation as Wanda and Melanie, but it's not. We don't really hear it. We just see a couple scenes of it. What was that like?
Well, you don't want to give that away. I'm not sure you really want to blog about that because that's sort of the reveal of the film. You know,
Yeah.
you come to understand the conflict that is going on between the souls and the rest of the humans.
Yeah.
And, that's initially what attracted me to the role, is that you think she's one thing and then you come to find out she's really not. And
So did you have yourself pre-recorded for any of that time, or did you imagine your inner quarrel with Lacey?
we started out pre-recording it. I don't know if Saoirse told you, she actually did most of her scenes with a headset, and we started out like it, but it was becoming crazy because she had one, I had one, and we were like completely confused because we had these voices inside of our head. But with Andrew Nicol, our director, who also wrote the script, he kind of found little places to put in weird moments that you don't really understand until the end. You know, you sort of get it.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about like what you did to really get into the character, like the development of it?
Well, I read the script, they sent it to me, and I had not read the book. So then I read the book to sort of nourish that character, but I felt a little more, had a little bit more liberty than Saoirse maybe and the boys, because we don't know what's going to happen if there is a sequel, or I don't know if I think she's writing the second book right now. But it was definitely helpful to have Stephanie on set because she had obviously very strong opinions about what this character should be like.
Okay.
So I have a question. Was it hard staying clean wearing all that white?
Oh my God. Apparently aliens figured out how to do laundry. Yes, that was getting old after a minute. And the cars too. It was like, the car, Diane, the car.
You have a little Clorox like
Seriously, it's
something.
crazy.
When you read the book, after you read the script, were you surprised at how different the character's description is in the book?
Yeah, I was, and also just the way the movie looked. You know, like I think Andrew obviously had a very strong visual vision for the movie. But both Stephanie, you know, when they initially contacted me, were like, you know, I know that in the book I think she's dark haired, you know, sort of short and all of that. When Andrew brought up my name, she immediately was, she could see that vision, you know, that I think they wanted the seekers or the aliens that you see to be very pure and kind of like very calm and sort of streamlined, you know. So I guess that was sort of the idea.
Do you think your character is the villain, or were you trying to play it as not the villain, just this is her drive?
Well, that's the complexity of the part, because we don't really know who the villain is, right? Is it the alien or is it the human that's inside of her? And it was a challenge to bring that to the screen, because as you said, you don't really understand what's going on until the end. And Lacey, the human that's inside of me, we don't know her journey, what her journey is going to be. So that's actually really interesting, right? What makes a world so great, and what are the flaws, and how maybe we're better off being alien. I don't know.
What would you miss most about being human if you were in that situation?
I think the extreme emotions. You know, I think as much as you hate going through pain, the when it's good, when you feel joy, or when you feel just simply alive. You know, I think that would be strange to be just always perfect, you know.
I hear that you are a sci-fi fan. What is your
Yeah.
favorite sci-fi story or genre?
Well, the Star Trek, Star Wars for me, totally, I love that. I grew up, I had a younger brother, so he was totally into all kinds of, whether it was superheroes or sci-fi. Remember that show, V?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was one of my favorites.
So did that lead you to your interest in this project?
Also, I mean, it's definitely something I've always wanted to do, because I feel like as an actor, your imagination can run wild, because all these characters are larger than life, and you have to face the most improbable scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
since you mentioned Star Wars, are you going to knock on Disney's door and ask for all one of those new 3 movies?
I wish that's how it worked. Yes, I would totally do that. Although, I've always wanted to play, my partner was on a show called Fringe, and they have like the craziest sci-fi weird things happen to them, and I've always wanted to be like somebody dying of some crazy illness. And then I did a day on that show, and it cured me for life, because that makeup, and I'm not kidding, I got up at 2 in the morning to do like crazy shit makeup. I was like, no, that done. The monster.
So contacts you could handle, but all of the...
It's too much.
How has Stephanie's fans been towards you and accepting you and you then getting into this fan base?
I didn't quite realize what I was getting myself into, even though I've seen Twilight, but it's not like, I go to the premieres or a part of a fan forum for Twilight. But yesterday we did a book signing at a mall.
Was that your first one?
My first time ever. I mean, I don't make teenage, I was like, are you kidding me right now? But honestly, it's really neat. I've never quite seen people so devoted to a writer, and then us, because we become like the incarnation of their imagination, and it was quite insane, it was really great. I will say it's great. I feel like I'm part of I'm part of a cool kids club, Like I'm part of I can go out and be cool.
Of the other worlds that the souls came from, is there one that sticks out in your mind when you're reading the book and said, hey, I'd like to check out that one?
Not really.
No?
No, that water covered, like weird,
Bats.
No, yeah, bats.
Flowers.
It seemed very wet and humid and dark. I don't know.
How would you describe your character in 3 words?
Terrifyingly pleasant. Pretty fly, because she has the tools, and then also really sad,
You'd worked with Quentin Tarantino before. On set with him, how did that differ from working with Andrew?
It's a totally different ball of wax. We're not comparing, strawberries to apple pie. I don't know. It's sort of like Quentin is mad and very larger than life, just like his movies are. And actually, Andrew's very much like his films are as well. There's an aesthetic to them that he's the kind of, he does like 18 takes and then comes in to go, and then he's also the writer, so he's very particular about saying the words and getting the scenes right, but he's a very introverted guy rather than extroverted like Quentin is.
Did you have to go through any training, like driving the Lotus or handling the weapons?
But just the Lotus, because it's a stick, and I've never driven a stick car. It took a little getting used to. Other than that, no, because it's very against character for the aliens to use weapons, right, or to be violent. So, she's an oddball to the others too. So it was, and I was trying to convey that when she picks up the gun,
Yes.
and she's like, "What did I do?" So.
Is there anything you were given from sets or slightly?
What do I have? I have one of those leather jackets. I kept a pair of contacts because I hated them so much at the end of the day. And you can just imagine being in the desert and having those freaky things in every day. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Did they impair your vision at all?
They totally do. Like
Yeah.
you don't have lateral vision, so if somebody comes up, from the side, you don't see them at all. That's really strange. Strange.
I thought your performance was brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Because I connected emotionally with the
At the end,
character.
yeah.
So, and it was kind of, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but it was kind of easy for me to really not like you. Because
Thank
of
you.
the way so, not you, your character.
No, I totally do.
The way you were just so aggressive and you portrayed that so well. I'm just wondering, what did you do to prepare? Because, like I said, I thought you were brilliant, and it evoked such emotion in me that, sometimes you watch a movie and there's an actor that plays the character so well, and you're just like, oh, I just don't.
Nice.
You love to hate. You love to hate.
You love to hate. Yeah, I just feel
it was
like
really great. What did you do to get in that mindset and prepare? Because it's such a complicated character, like you said. You've got two people in your head also, but we don't see that.
right away. Yeah, I think for me, the people in life that are the scariest, like I think as humans we can relate to emotions, right? We can, whether it's being really nasty emotions or somebody who's extremely nice, right? But we have a response to them. I think the scariest people are people that have no emotion, right? Who are really sort of always the same, and you don't really know what they're thinking, and there's nothing you can relate to. And I thought that sort of was the idea in the beginning. And then, I think the big reveal, that emotion of feeling alive again, is I think what hopefully, people then can relate to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there another character, male, female, any age, that you would have liked to have played in the film? And is there another character that you were like, oh?
I wouldn't have mind being the girl making out with all the hot guys. Call me crazy, but yeah, I was laughing. Saoirse is very young, and she turned 18 during the film, and she's very protected. Her parents are on set and everything.
Yeah.
Here she is making up with this guy, making up with this guy. I was like, welcome to enjoy.